So just like in JavaScript, I can able to get the data and set the data from the attributes as well as within the tags. Next, we have to go for events. How to handle the events in jQuery. See here I have onClick equal to some function name. Here also some function name. But my requirement is I don't want to write onClick here. So for that, what we'll do in JavaScript, we add event listeners. Here we are adding for click event. I am adding event listeners. So in order to achieve this thing, so actually in this way, I would like to use event. So as per JavaScript, so for finding the element, we can use dollar. I want to say this is an ID. Dot. I'm adding event listener. Click. So instead of this function, I can directly use here. So now I can eliminate this. That's it. So what I am doing is for finding the element by ID in jQuery, I can have the syntax like this. So I found the element. For that element, I want to apply event. In JavaScript, by using event listener function, you can add that event. Whereas here, instead of calling this function, they have directly given the direct functions. For click function, blur function, like this. So that's why from this JavaScript syntax, we can eliminate this one because this will be created as a function. So that's why I have taken click function.
For every event, there is one function.
Yes, for every event. So whatever the action I want to perform, this is my function. That function will be executed. So basically here we write functions. So that is the reason I can take, I can directly write the function or I can call the function. I can write function. So dom btn. Here I have id dom btn. If I click this button, I want to check. I'm not writing this in any function. I can directly writing in the script tag. I'm pressing DOM. See here, it's not working, right? So what we have to do is, here what we are writing JavaScript, jQuery. For JavaScript by default, the browser will handle the events. Whereas here, the jQuery is developed in such a way that whenever all the HTML elements are fully loaded in the browser, then only it has to work. So that is the reason. First I want to check whether browser is completely loaded or not. When the browser is loaded, then only I can able to use this jQuery. So now I want to know the HTML document is fully loaded or not. So I want to find out. What I want to find out? I want to find a HTML document. So HTML document is not an ID or class tag something. It is an object. So that's why I can write it right there. Document. So document dot. In JavaScript I can have onload function. Coming to here, we have load function. Document dot load. Whereas in jQuery they have given ready function. So this indicates whenever the document is ready, we have to do something. So this ready is an event. Event is nothing but it accepts functions. So function and writing console.log of document ready. All HTML tags fully loaded. You can see here all HTML elements fully loaded. If I press, after pressing it takes some time to display because between the duration the elements have not loaded fully. I'm pressing F5. After some time it is displaying this data. If you want to know whether it is taking some time or not, this is the mouse pointer. Observe the mouse pointer. Here in this line you will be getting some content, loading content. After some time only here you are able to see that. Now observe here. Yes. Code.jQuery.com.
Now can we click on Dome now?
Yes. So now after loading the all HTML pages, then only I have to write this. After loading, I want to write this. When the browser all elements are loaded, then only find out this and apply the click event.
Any
event. So fully loaded. Now it can able to identify this click event. Now if I click here, JQ events working. What I will do is here I have last name. For this last name text box, I have an ID L name. If I mouse over on the L name, I want to display some message. So I want to know the mouse events. So find out a text box which is having an ID L name. What I want to do, whenever it is mouse over, whenever mouse is over on that element, what I want to do is I want to do some operations. I want to say something is going on. Here which event? The mouse event. Mouse over event working. So I'm clicking down, click event is working. Coming to mouse over, if I mouse over on first name, it is not displaying. If I mouse over on last name, display. Mouse leaving I have left to move mouse from last name. Nothing is happening. Again, if I mouse over this, it will display 3, 4, 5. So how many number of times you are hovering, it will display. In the same way, you can also use mouse out. Mouse out or mouse in. It has disconnected. Mouse over, mouse out. See, these are even. I will take this. For this, I would like to use keyword events. Whenever I'm pressing the key, automatically whatever the data I have typed in the text box, that has to be displayed. Yeah. Basically, we can see this in Angular. In Angular NG model, it will be binary automatically. For first name, whenever I am pressing key press, so instead of this, I will take one label here. Right. In between, I will take one paragraph. First name status. I want to write in between the tags, so I can use HTML. What I want to do, I want to display the data from the first name, the value in the first name, hash f name. So I am getting value attribute from the first name, and I am displaying that up and I am using the data to this inner HTML. So this inner HTML is for this paragraph. So here I am typing.
Like exactly
So the last one is missing. Hello. I typed a hello, but it's showing HELL.
So it is one key behind.
No, it is not displaying the last one.
So it is one
That
key
means,
behind.
yeah. So for that, what you have to do is we have to use key up and key down also. Yeah. So to achieve that, this is key press. Whenever I press the key, it is doing that. Pressing means the key may be going up or down. But if it is key up, I am not displaying. That is the reason the last one is not displaying. When the key is going up, then only the letter will be completed. So what I will do is I will copy same thing, but I will use the event key press key up. KUY. So I'm able to display each and every letter as it is. Here what I'm doing is the same code, for the same code, but the difference is the function names.
Flashing.
Slash.
It's okay.
Always options.
Flashing.
Two lines.
I don't know which.
Always is the option. Wait. లోపల అయితే దాని పక్కదే విడిచివరు
You want fan?
ఫ్యాన్ ఇచ్చి
No, we are okay. You said off.
she don't know the exact
Oh.
that's why she pressed there. So now to save this number of lines of code, I want to combine these two events. Yeah. So we can also combine the events. For combining events, this is for single event. For multiple events, instead of this event name, I can use on code. So this is on event name code function. So this is one, and another one is I want to use one more. Then I would like to take event name 2 colon function. See, actually this is a function. For this function, I am sending multiple events, multiple parameters. But this function has to know how many. This is predefined function. So we don't know exactly how many parameters has to be passed. Okay. So that is the reason here on will take only one parameter. If you want to send only one parameter, I cannot send this one, right? So that is the reason this on will take an object.
As an object.
So this on will take an object.
Okay.
If you want to write multiple functions, suppose you want to use on function only, but you want to use only one function. Let us suppose I have only one function. Since there is only one function, but the object is for collection of data, so we don't use this object. For differentiating for this one and this one, it will take it as two parameters. Here event name, the second one is the function to be executed. So if you want to execute events by using on method, we have two options. If you have only one function to be executed, you can take as two parameters. If there are multiple functions to be executed, you can take an as object. Then the on function can easily identify that if there are two parameters, okay, I want to execute only one function. If there is only one parameter, so it is an object. If it is not an object, it will throw an error.
Yeah.
So here I would like to combine this key press and key up. So instead of this, I can use on, and this is key up. So this is event. Event is the event name.
Event has to be double quote.
Yeah, because it is string.
Okay.
So I want to use multiple. So that is why I have to take object. The end of this function is this.
It has to be within that or end of the function.
This is key colon value. Sorry. This is on function.
Okay.
This is for on. So this is for on. So this is object. So in this object I have key and value. This is an object. Here one event, key up event. For key up event I want to run this function. In the same way the second object. The second object. Here key press. Key up and key press. So I will comment these two here. For f name I want to run key up as well as key press. Whenever I key up, it has to display so key up and key event. So we can combine the multiple events.
Can we combine mouse and keyboard
Mouse,
and keyboard in one on function?
yeah,
Okay. Any event can be combined.
yeah, any event. Here I have a mouse out and mouse leave. That is for another one. If you want to apply the same thing, then only you can use multiple. If you have to operate only one element.
Well, with either mouse or keyboard like that.
No. The element.
Okay.
The element to be operated.
Okay. The mean. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it.
So in a single element, I want to operate multiple events.
Events. Okay.
In that case, here mouse event is applied to another element.
Yeah.
Suppose I have to execute only one function, then instead of this object, Actually, I have only one function. So then, instead of this object, what I will do is I can make it as two parameters. Instead of key up, what I will do is mouse leave. For first name, if I mouse leave, I want to show mouse leave. So for the first name, mouse is over. If I leave the mouse from there, mouse leave into the. So for single event, we can use a event comma its function. For multiple, we can use object of event comma function, event call functions. So this is how we can execute events, single events or multiple events. Coming to this, here we have text HTML for getting and setting. So these are getters and setters. In the same way, I want to add and remove. Getting is setting means updating. Adding remove means we can display or we can remove that. Hide and show, just like that. So for that we have add, remove. So these two will be applied to classes. Add class, remove class. So these are used for adding classes and removing the classes. If I press this login register button, if no data is entered in first name, the border should be in red color. For red color, I will take some styles and I will make it in a class.
Update from here.
And this is temporary.
Okay.
This is for checking purpose. Border 1 pixel solid. I want to make it red. Yeah, this is what the style I want to apply. After pressing this login, if it is empty, I want to apply this color. So what I will do is, instead of writing in style, I will take it in as class. So here I will write test class. So I want to add this test class whenever the first name is empty. What is its button? Login register ABC. Where is ABC here? For ABC, I have written here. So in the last, I would like to write So for first name, I want to apply the class. First name dot add class. What is my class? Test class. I am clearly telling that it is a class. That is the reason I no need to mention dot here.
Okay.
If there are some situations where I want to use class here, but here there is no clear mentioning that it is a class.
So it would be add only.
Yeah.
Empty add.
Yes. In that case, I can use. I have to clearly mention whether it is ID or class.
So the
Here we
class,
have clearly class, add class.
the class concept is in general how we use everywhere, like
Yes.
this dot.
Yeah. Whenever I click this, the class is applying here. Class equal to test class. I'm adding class. By default, it is having one class, right? The first name by default it is having one class. If I want to add class, I have to give a space and I have to write the class name here.
So it would be by default without
Yeah.
any click.
Yes. So this function will give space and it will write it. So if you observe this blue color, class equal to L name. If I press this button, so this class is added.
Okay. Space test class.
Yeah, space as class.
Okay. If
If
we
I-
enter, that won't be added.
Sorry?
If we enter something,
Yeah.
that class won't be added.
Which one?
Now it is only for if it is empty.
No, I did not test that.
Means it is clicking only. Sorry, it is making it red only if that text box is empty.
Yeah, I have to write the condition.
Okay, okay.
Here I have to write the condition.
Now you have written.
Yeah. If I don't write the condition, even
you
if I
write
type
also, it
here,
will-
yeah. Even if I type,
Okay.
so here I have to write that logic. Let us suppose f name dot its value is equal to empty string. So this if condition is having only one line.
One.
That is the reason we no need is not required for providing braces. So it's not applied. It is applied. But here we have to remember one thing. There are some users here first name. Instead of typing, they will give some spaces.
Okay.
For visibility, we think that there is no data. So that's why it should not, it has to apply the color. But if I press this, it won't apply the color. So for such scenarios, what we have to do is, we have to trim. This trim function will eliminate the empty strings for A to Z letters, before and after. Please apply. I will use spaces.
Yeah.
If I click this variable button,
One question.
variables button, yeah,
If suppose in that f name
yeah,
we already mentioned class and
Yes.
then name. If there is no class,
it will add the class attribute
automatically.
automatically.
So there is not compulsory to add class. If it is there, it will add space
Yes.
with the before, and it will display the second name.
Yes.
If it is not there, it will
Add the
class.
attribute also. So if I press this variable, this button, I want to remove that class.
Remove the class from F name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here I have
XYZ.
XYZ1. Document that ready. Index ready. I use jQuery for that. If I click this button, I want to remove the class. Remove class of that class name. Here, if I press login, the class is added here. Now I want to remove this class. If I click this variables button, XYZ1 is not defined. XYZ1. So this is ID. The class is added. If I press this button,
That is as a function call.
again, 1 second.
Downstairs you have mentioned as function call.
It is ID hash. Forgot to give hash here. Class is added.
It's a function call. Parenthesis.
Yes, parenthesis is there. Class is added. The class is added. Okay, so this is how we can add and remove the classes. But there is one thing. Here what I am doing, I am creating a class separately and I am adding that class here. But if you don't want to create a separate class and you want to add directly here, for this we have a property called as CSS function.
In the remove class,
Yeah.
is it compulsory to know what class we need to remove?
Yeah, we have done.
Can't we mention like whatever class is present there, remove that? In
No,
that
whatever
particular-
it is present, that will be removed. If it is not there, it will do nothing.
No, but we are mentioning here remove text class.
Yeah.
But here we know that there is a text class.
Yes.
But in some cases, when a large program, we don't know what class is available there.
No.
It's not
If you
that-
know the class, then only
then only you can.
Yes. Because if you are removing anything, we know what is the reason for that.
Yeah.
So that is the reason. So for CSS, here we can add the CSS directly here. So basically what we do here,
Copy
yeah, for this, what I'm doing here I'm writing class name. What are the class I have? I'm writing the class name. Here what I'm doing is, writing class name here is nothing but copying this entire code there, right? So, so that's why the syntax for writing direct CSS is this one. In this object, we can write any number of classes, styles. So this is one way. When we are using this, if it is having multiple styles, just like events, color, red. But I have only one property. If I have only one property, I can make it as two parameters. So instead of this colon, I can use comma. So these are string kind of things. So I can use like this. So this one. So this is element dot CSS of the syntax is property comma value. The another syntax is property 1 value 1 comma and so on. Property n colon and so on. Value n. So this is what the syntax, and this is what an example. So when we write this is, there is one and only place we can use this class. If there is one and only place throughout the program, throughout the project, in those scenarios we can use like this. But it's not a good practice to use that. Yeah, we don't use. Better to use classes. If you write like this, it will create style tag, style attribute. For adding class and removing class, it is adding the class attribute. But this CSS will add style attribute. So Google never prefer style attributes, because style attribute, when we use style attribute, whenever we are writing inline CSS. So inline CSS is not preferable by Google. So for this class, I will write for LNAME, I will write the class. So instead of for writing class, I can directly write CSS in two ways. One is for border comma. What is the border I want?
This would be without waiting for any event, right?
Yes. For LNAME, I'm writing the CSS. style equal to border 1 pixel solid color.
Why it is waiting for click?
Which one?
The second one which we have written just now.
This is last name. For this last name we don't have a style here. We have type, name, class, ID, value.
No, but we didn't mention on click there. But
I have
is
mentioned.
it in the click itself?
Yes.
Okay.
In that function I have that.
Okay.
So press this. The CSS will add style attribute.
If we write that outside, it would be on loop.
Yes. Writing CSS. Getting, setting, adding, removing CSS classes. And we can have effects. Okay, these are the events I have. So we have effects and traversing. Coming to effects, we have show and show, hide, fade, slide, animate. Hide and show will show the element and hide the element.
Yeah. Same dot show and
Like
dot.
display colon. It's a add the style. That is display colon block, display colon none.
None.
If display is none, it is hide. Display block, it is show. But I want to show this with some time gap.
5 seconds.
Yeah. So that thing can be used here. Slider and fade. I will write a big division here. By default, this is a paragraph is displayed. For this, I will write some style. This is the division. You want fan? Fan. Fan. Adjust. Fan. Who was the John was the fan. Asian on the So I have this effects division. Now I want to hide and show this. Hide will be applied whenever an element is already shown. Show will be applied whenever it is hidden. Hide and show effects button. NG on image. Document ready. Hide and show effects button. Document function. I want to hide my div. Show hide effect. So this is already shown. I want to hide this. If I click this, I will come in here. My div. For my div, I don't have ID. I have class.
Yeah.
So I will use class. Instead of hash, I use class. I click this. This ID. But I want to
Sure.
hide this after few seconds. The default values are slow, medium, fast. If I write slow, slowly it will hide the element. Like this. So medium, we have fast. So immediately for this. So if you don't see the proper effect by using these three, you can directly use the milliseconds.
1000.
Yeah, I will use 1000 milliseconds. So within 1000 milliseconds, it will be correct. If you increase the milliseconds, it will hide very slowly. Hide like this.
Any other effects we can give?
Hmm.
Only this.
Only this. We want to provide multiple effects. We have a function called animate.
Animation.
Yeah,
That will be
here we have animate. In this animate function, we can define your own styles, own effects. So let's show for the same button. Already it is shown. So now hide will be working. Now, so it is working two times because I have written two lines. First hide, after that it will show.
Can we do if condition?
Yeah, we can do if condition. So what is happening? We can see here. Elements. So this is division. For this division, I don't have style attribute. If I click this one, it is adding style. So these are the properties it is adding. First, I will comment and I will just show. I just only hide. This is the element. If I press this button, it is giving display none. So before display none, it is having some effects. It is showing some effects. Overflow, height, padding, margin, width. That means for every second it is slowly decreasing. So that is the reason it is displaying these values.
Now, how to take if condition to this? If
Yeah, that we have to take this attribute.
not hide equals to true.
Yeah, let us suppose. Now we have to find out whether the style attribute is having the display none or hide show none or display. So based on that, we can able to use this one.
If
If it is hidden, it will show. If it is shown, it has to be hidden like this. For that, what we will do is by using getTTR, we can access the style attribute.
yeah, the display
Yeah,
style
style properties.
display value. Okay, got it.
This time.
We can do with this star dollar height equals to true like that. Directly function.
Dot hide.
No, no, that is in Angular. Sorry, I got
So this is hide and show. Here we have fade and slide. So here it is hiding. During hiding, it is fading. So I want to display some fading. Uh, while closing, it won't show any fading. Then I have to provide some opacity. So these are the three different syntaxes for the hide and show. We can use only speed, and also we can use speed and callback function. The set of lines to be executed after performing that animation.
Means you can call a function.
After hiding, I want to do something.
Function call.
Yeah, we can also call the function.
Same goes with show.
Yeah. Coming to fade effects, we have two things: fade in and fade out. And this toggle is applied for all, even for slide, slide effect, fade effect, hide or show. That means wherever we are performing on or off kind of things, there we can use toggle. If we use toggle, for hide we are writing code, and for show also we are writing code. If you want to do it immediately, then we can use toggle. So toggle will take care of whether it is on or off. If it is on, it will make it off. If it is off, it will make it on. Here I am hiding and showing. Actually, my requirement is first it is hiding. After clicking the button only, it has to show, but it is showing automatically. But I don't want that effect. For such kind of things, we can use instead of show or hide, we can use toggle. So instead of these two things, in a single line, I can write this toggle. If I click, again, this hide. So one by one.
Initially, we can keep that display
Yes,
as
yes,
one
yes.
in the division.
So actually, I have to write a logic like this. Whenever I click here, if the style is display none or hide block. If it is none, I have to make it block. If it is block, I have to make it none. So in order to write all these code by ourselves, they have given to us this toggle predefined function. So in that case, in the same way, we can use fade effects. Element dot fade in. This is opacity. This is speed. This is callback function. for this one also we can have problem. So we can't find out the greater difference between this fade in and fade out and hide and show because both of these functions will do the same thing. But here we have two directions, in and out. So I will hide this. Fade. Click my reduce fade out after 3 seconds. If I press this after 3 seconds, fade out means make it fade. So it fades like this. You can, if you observe clearly, the width and height will not be affected in fade. Whereas show and hide, the width is slowly reducing while hiding, while showing it's slowly reducing, increasing. That is the difference between this fade and low. Fade in, I want to run fade out again. This is document that is ready, and this is this function. I want to make it fade in. It's fading out, and again it is fading in.
Fading is show and fade is
Yeah, fade in will show, fade out will hide. So here fading is nothing but its opacity is reducing or increasing. Opacity,
style.
fade in is showing. That means opacity going from 0 to 1. Here the opacity is from 1 to 0. But I want to make this fade effect up to some particular point in between 0 and 1. Then we can use fade to. After 3 seconds, make it fade, but the fade should be 0.5. So at 0.5, we have to stop. So at 0.5, it is stopping. So up to which number of opacity we have to fade, that we can be specified here. The opacity always starts from 0 to 1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 like this. So instead of writing 2 times, we can use toggle here. Instead of in or out, we can use toggle. So in the same way, we can have slide effects. We can slide up and slide down. We don't have a slide left and right. We don't have left and right.
Okay, slide
Up and down. Slide up. It will be used whenever we want to hide. For slide down, if you want to show, you can use slide down. Now see here, it is already shown. If I click this, it has to hide. If it has to hide, it will be slide up. That means it will move to upside. Slide up like this. Again, sliding down. So this slide up and down. I can also use toggle. So instead of writing 2 times, simply I can write in 1 time. Sliding up, so press again, sliding down. So that depends on our requirement. If it is 1, it is moving fast. In our childhood, there are some theaters.
Yeah.
Theaters,
Yes.
yeah, in olden days. That means some 10 years back. All theaters are having some screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will slide slowly up.
Single.
Yeah, slowly down. So if you want to make it like an animation in this movie booking tickets, movie ticket booking. If you are doing ticket booking kind of websites, if you want to show some effects, movie is already uh, going on, then we can show this effect. We can take some screen kind of image here, and we can make it up and down. Silver screen cloth. Yeah. So inside this division, so this is my screen. That is 4000 milliseconds. You can use this for image. It is my screen. Press this. See, close the
What is
Sure.
the slide on?
Yes, right toggle. So I will use slide. Slide up.
Right, so like,
It is not hide, it is just slide. Because it is an image, I have applied directly to the image. So you have to apply them to the divisions. The divisions will go up and down. Okay, you can close it.
yeah. Can you give us something to work on?
Yes.
Tell us, we'll try to complete.
Uh,
If you're not getting any idea, you can ping me in our group later.
okay. I'll ping you in the WhatsApp.
Okay. And on 2nd October working?
Sorry?
2nd of October working?
October. No.
It's holiday.
Yeah, sorry. Do you want to come?
Yeah, that's what we are. We'll decide with these people. I don't know how many holidays are there. I have holiday, but about these people are not
You
sure.
don't bother about holidays. Whenever you would like to come, you
No,
can.
no. For me, I can come, but to
Yeah,
continue
you
the
just
class,
discuss among
yeah,
yourself.
I can come and I can we
You
have
discuss
some area.
and let me know. You can let
But
me
you
know.
are free, right?
Yeah, I'm free.
Okay, so we'll discuss with these people.
Sure.
If they have holiday, we'll try in the afternoon.
Okay.
And can we combine jQuery and JavaScript in one page?
You can let me
So means couple of lines jQuery, couple of
know. Yeah.
lines Java.